Welcome to the Bellcast, episode 19. Kevin, you are fired up.
I'm amped, man. How's it going?
Good. Welcome to episode 19. You finally officially made it to the podcast.
19, I woke up for an episode. Look at that. I've got some life in me.
Did you lift today?
I did. I lifted. I caffeinated. I'm alive. I'm ready to go.
And you're drinking out of a cup that says may contain whiskey.
Yeah, let's start the party off.
Okay. So
I wish. That'll be this afternoon.
Okay. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. I'm more excited for Kev. He's got a big weekend ahead of him.
Oh, what do you have?
Yeah. Bachelor party weekend.
Oh.
I have no clue where I'm going to.
Oh. Why are Mike and I not invited to this?
You gotta ask my brother. My brother's been planning
And
everything.
the guy who listens to the podcast.
Yes. He actually has a T-shirt just like mine, the official Bellcast T-shirt. Shout out to my brother. He planned the entire bachelor party with a couple of my friends and didn't tell me a word.
Does your fiance know where you're going?
My fiance's doing her bachelorette the same weekend. We don't know where either of us are going. She doesn't know where she's going. I don't know where I'm going. We're just showing up.
I can't wait till you're just at Freehold Mall.
I know, right?
I just can't wait till you're like dating.
I just said no planes. I said no
really?
flying, no going anywhere extravagant, just someplace.
Are you a
within
plain
driving distance.
paranoid person?
No, I like planes. I just didn't want anyone to, have to like be
Die
go
in
to
a
Vegas
plane?
or go to Vegas. People get crazy now.
The Venetian?
With the Venetian out in Vegas. Yeah. I didn't want anyone to feel like they had to fly or do a destination.
You're gonna be regretting this because you're gonna be at DJ's all weekend.
I'm going to be
Bunch
at
of
Belmar.
21-year-olds.
Exactly.
At Belmar, you'll be like, oh. So, Mike, would you say it's safe to say they're probably going to AC? I think that would. Or,
Yeah, I mean, it could be, because you're only driving, right? So you have a few
Right.
options. Yeah.
where's your brother live?
My brother lives in Middletown.
Okay, local. So,
Is he an AC guy?
There were some rumors.
He's gonna be.
There were some rumors of PA. So I'm
Okay.
thinking maybe PA.
Sands, Bethlehem?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe around that. I don't know what we're doing in the afternoon. I said, let's try and do something fun in the afternoon so guys aren't wasted by 4 o'clock.
What are you going to be doing around 1 a.m.?
We're still alive at 1 a.m.
Kevin, you're Irish.
Yeah, it's going to be
Kevin's gonna be in an establishment this weekend. He's gonna do the Irish goodbye. He's just gonna disappear for like no one will know where he is.
Yeah.
So you're returning when? Sunday evening?
Yeah, sometime Sunday.
Okay. So if you could tell your brother to text Mike and myself what the plans are. So you never know.
You never know.
I mean, Mike and I show up. We have to do our duty and show up. Our wives can go to your back. They won't. Which is
We
why
need
I'm
to do
saying-
research for the show next Friday.
I
We
know,
need to know
yeah.
what's going
You
on.
need to know what's
That's
around.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And this is on video on YouTube as always, right? So you can watch it, and if you want to see my awkwardness.
We'll be up on. We put the full clips up on YouTube, and then we put little clips that we'll break up too for good social content.
And we have guests this week.
We do.
Yes. Joe, Anthony, how are you?
Wonderful,
Louder,
wonderful.
louder.
So we gotta pump up the energy in
Yes.
here. No, we're
Yeah.
great. We're great. Anthony here, and obviously Joe alongside me.
Joe is dad.
Hey, Joe is dad, but we don't go by that at work. I'm Anthony Joseph. He's Joe Samura.
Okay. Well, during this
Alias.
whole
Alias.
podcast, you have to call him dad.
Oh man, they're gonna set me up like
Joe, how
that.
you doing, Joe?
Doing great, Lorenzo.
Joe,
Thanks for
lean
having
in,
us
lean
here.
in, get on that
Thanks
mic.
for having us here this morning. Congratulations, Kevin.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Joe, what is the name of the company that you work for or as owner of?
I am the proud owner of Data Pros. We are a Microsoft Cloud service provider.
And what does that mean?
What that means is we help small and medium-sized businesses leverage the Microsoft Cloud for growth, for portability,
Okay.
and scalability.
And you've been in Bellworks for how long?
Been in Bellworks for 6 months now. Our business has been in here in Holmdel since the inception. I'm a 20-year Holmdel resident, and we want to keep the business here and grow the business here. Our plan is to move our help desk, which is currently over on Holmdel Road, here hopefully sometime
Okay,
next
so
year.
you have 2 locations.
Yes, we did. We have, our help desk is on Holmdel Road, and I'm basically here, hoping to find some more space for us.
Oh, you're waiting for space here?
Yeah, is that,
Mike,
is
Kevin,
that
you wanna talk
uncommon?
about that?
Is that uncommon?
Kevin?
We don't call it.
There's a way. Yeah, there's a way for space, even for people who are residents here. It's people move around and find the right space.
Mike, stop him before he gets amped. He's amped.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who want to get here, but yeah, it'd be good to have you. And I think we've met at the Holmdel Chamber of Commerce meetings before, so I know you're active in the community and want to be here. So
And where are you guys located in the building?
We're over in the co-lab.
Oh, okay.
We're in what they call the symbolic space, right?
Yeah, it's you and I versus them.
Oh,
They're setting you
oh,
up.
that's right.
Because they like to talk about how, as I make the joke, that they have that ventilation and carpeting and
Oh,
pretzel.
right.
Windows.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, no, he's got a window on his door.
Ah.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes. Anthony,
And
are
a
you
second door. I'm not here. No, he sticks me at the other location.
You're in the Holmdel location.
I'm at the Holmdel location 5 minutes down the road, but he's here in Nice Bell Works, but I've heard nightmares of the ventilation,
Yeah.
too hot, too cold, you know.
No, they don't know.
They don't know that because they get the suites, I'm
They have foot
assuming.
massages upstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what, I always wondered what happened
That's
on
why
the
they
second
always
and third floor.
Yeah.
Now, Anthony, just based on the appearance, youth-wise and stuff like that, are you out of college?
Yes, I
Okay.
graduated college two
We didn't
years ago. Graduated college 2 years ago, and funny enough, I actually worked in radio for a year.
You did.
And
I wouldn't
yes.
know by the first 5 minutes. The microphone.
I'm not used to
Okay.
leaning in, but let me lean in.
Okay,
Yeah,
so, wait, let's slow down. Where'd you go to college?
I went to Temple in Philly.
You went to Temple?
Yeah,
Okay.
so Philly guy there. That
Are you
was
a Temple
awesome 4
college
years.
basketball fan?
Huge Temple basketball fan. Out of all sports, that's my team.
Nothing since the 80s for Temple, really, right?
Nah, it's been
Right,
slow.
yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
have to
what-
talk to him. I'm a St. John's guy.
Oh, you're a Johnny. Oh,
That's all
well, you've had crap.
It's been a long time
You've
for
had crap
us.
too.
It's been a long time.
But combined here, we have like 0 NCAA
Yeah.
championships for the past 30 years.
No,
Congratulations on that. So you studied radio? You said?
Yeah, I studied communications, so
Okay.
I did a lot of radio, I did television, worked at the radio station at school. After that, I got a gig at the Rat here down in Belmar.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then
On
I
air?
decided, no, I wasn't on air, I was
Okay.
doing like promotional marketing stuff.
Okay.
And after that, I jumped in and started helping out Joe here,
Okay.
Dad. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's been
Not by force, I might add.
Yeah, no. It's my
Okay.
choice.
So then we're gonna have to question your decision making here. based on stuff. Were you in the booths that's at the Rat at all the events?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure?
that was me. I was setting up those
Okay.
booths. I was working the booths, giving out the free T-shirts. You know that people
Yeah, I
were
know we
crazy
were giving
for.
the free t-shirts too, don't worry. I
Yeah,
know you
yeah,
were.
yeah,
I
exactly.
know
We
what
only
you
got
do.
like 2 of them to give out, so you got to use them sparingly.
Yeah, I know what you do. By the way, speaking of t-shirts, we had Bell Fresh last week, Brian, right? And Brian gave me a t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
wow,
I
you're
am,
covering it
yeah,
up.
I
You're
got-
covering it up.
I am covering it
I
up.
don't get a
because
T-shirt. I don't have this lousy Bellcast T-shirt on. You got a nice Asbury Fresh one.
Well, I mean, you know, if you listen to the podcast, you probably know why I got the shirt.
All right.
Maybe you didn't because we couldn't hear you last week. But now you went and lifted this
I didn't.
week.
I didn't lean in.
Was Kev here last? Was he
Oh,
on last
man.
week?
No. No. And now the Holmdel location, going back to Data Pros, are you doing it, you're not bringing clients in there, or are you bringing them clients here, or are you not dealing with clients at all?
No,
On
that's
a
just,
one-to-one level?
yeah, that's just the front end of our help desk.
Okay.
So, we have another help desk that's off-site in Pittsburgh, where we have engineers working 24/7, but this is really the front end where we're answering our clients' phone calls live.
Okay, how do those phone calls go?
Yeah. What's a typical?
I'm on
what's,
the internets here.
what's a typical client and like a typical client interaction? What do they kind of use you guys for?
They actually use us as their IT department. I mean, it's as if we're right down the hall, except we're virtual.
Okay,
95% of what we do is remote. I mean, nowadays, there's really no reason to send people out on site. That's very expensive and time consuming.
right.
So most of what we do is remote, and that's the same solution we're providing to all of our clients, really.
So you take over their screen in a sense, and you can help them that way?
We take over their screen
Okay.
through our secure network operations center, I might add. A lot of people do it right from somebody's desktop. We're doing it through our network operations center to ensure utmost security for our clients.
If I don't have a text message that comes through during the live podcast, it's not an
It's not a
episode.
full podcast.
It's not an episode.
So everyone shuts
Just
up.
glad
their
it
phone.
wasn't
We have
a guest.
airplane mode,
No,
but he's got the
No,
computer. He's
not
got-
me, not at all.
No.
Now, who takes the actual, do you both take calls? Did you say? Anthony.
Anthony takes the call.
They're not listening to this episode. Give me something.
Oh,
A good story,
okay.
like, you're like,
I have
are you
a
kidding me
couple-
right now?
I mean, I have a couple great
Just
stories.
leave it
No
Exactly.
client names.
Yeah, no
client
client names. I mean, the typical call is usually something similar or something as easy as, hey, my email's not working. But then you also get the funny ones that's like, hey, I received this email. So one time a client sent us an email and it was like, we see what you're watching on your computer at home. It's really naughty, it's really bad. We're gonna send it to your wife, your kids, all your contacts.
Were they watching Trump videos? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you know
Oh,
what? Kind of. It's a little bit different, but almost as bad. And you get some funny stuff like that. But overall, it's not too bad. I've kind of drifted away from answering those calls. I'm more on the marketing side now, but
Okay.
it's funny.
And at the call center, what was the connection with Pittsburgh, you said?
So that's where our network operations center is 24/7.
And when you say that, is that calls as well go there, or no?
No, network alerts
Alerts, okay.
and security alerts.
Okay, so how many people do you have in the call center? Is it 24/7?
The call center in Pittsburgh is 24/7.
Okay.
Ours is 8:30 to 5:30.
Okay, all right, so after 5:30, that's it, you're done, you're screwed. Does it get forwarded to?
Yes,
It does,
everything
okay.
bounces off to the desk.
Okay, what are you looking for at Bell? Are you looking to, how many people, or what size, like how many, is it just the two of you that you're looking for a bigger office?
No, we would actually move our help desk operations over here.
And how many people roughly is that?
That would be about 10 people.
Okay, and, oh, that's gonna be tough.
I'm sure,
Right.
I'm sure there's space and, well, you never know.
One of the conversations we had with Sean was about trying to help the collab develop team spots where you could have larger companies and groups of people that still could sit in generally the same area. So there's some technical hurdles with that, and so we've had some initial discussions with them about hopefully being able to do that when they build a new collab space.
I'm gonna be like that lady who's like, the government's trying to take my land, like, I'm in a domain, I'm like, I'm not moving, I'll put my flagpole in my office, I'm like, not moving, I don't care. And they'll be like, no, we'll offer you free lunch for 6 months, I'm not moving, I've been here 4 years. I'll be that person, right? Will, how you doing back there, buddy?
Great.
All right, just checking in with him. Mike, how's business?
It's good. It's good. Yeah, we were just talking before the show, and both in the tech space and obviously.
We had like a whole episode while I walked out.
We
We
did.
recorded, by the way,
Yeah,
before I
yeah.
left.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
there you go.
shit
There
about
you
I
go.
got here. So what were you talking about?
No, well, we were talking a little bit about the growth of cloud and some of the challenges that go in there, but also the opportunity. And for you guys said that you got into a really good time with Microsoft 365 launching. But what do you guys do in a nutshell? I mean, obviously your IT services, but what's your sweet spot for companies listening that you guys help out with?
Our sweet spot is really, it's not vertical, it's horizontal solutions. So really what we're helping companies do is grow. That's really what the cloud does, and the way it does that is twofold. There's the scalability of it, so as we talked about before the show, it's a subscription-based computing. You're using that computing as you need it, as opposed to back in the day, you needed to invest all that money in infrastructure, build up that infrastructure, and then hope that the business grew with it. What we're doing is presenting companies a different option, a different way to invest that initial capital. So many companies will come to us and say, hey, we're just starting out, we have capital, we don't know anything about IT, how do we go about building an infrastructure? And then we teach them how to build that infrastructure in the cloud. So that it's allowing companies to work anywhere. So like we talked about, getting rid of that commute time, right?
Mm-hmm.
People hate being behind the dashboard when they could be behind their desktop. And so we give them that, we give them the ability to work on any device. One of the early things that we had to do is educate people about the cloud, and specifically about Microsoft and what they're doing in the cloud, because Microsoft is a far different company than they were even 5 years ago. And so those two things combined, have allowed us to take companies, some of our clients have grown from 5 people to 500 people, literally. And that's through, obviously, organic growth, acquisition, that's capable when you can scale at a rapid pace. And that's really what the cloud gives you.
If you were doing your own hardware and keeping everything in-house, it would be a mess going from 5 to 500. So being able to expand rapidly in the cloud is...
Absolutely, because you can't predict what that curve is going to look like. Is it going to be a hockey stick curve, or is it going to be a gradual incline? And so again, the traditional way is, hey, let me invest all this money up front. So if you're an investor, and I'm going to put money into a company, and now they come back and say, okay, I gave you $10 million, what are you going to do with it? Well, I took $1 million of it to build infrastructure, and I took another $1 million of it to develop, to get space, at least long-term space. That's 20% of your investment right out of the pot, and you haven't even done anything as a business.
Right.
And so we educate people about the revolution and how you can, grow and scale in a different way than you did before.
Some people, everyone has a range of what they know about the cloud computing. Whether they've touched on it in their own business, or maybe they've just read some articles and things. Explain a little bit to our listeners about really what are some of the features of the cloud. You can talk about Microsoft specifically, and then we've got Amazon, cloud service, some of the popular ones that people might be using.
Sure. So the number one thing we try to emphasize about the cloud is it offers two things, redundancy and resiliency, and those are different things. So the redundancy part is, think about this building, right? It has redundant entrances. If there's something wrong with the main entrance, people can come in through either of the side doors. Same thing with the Microsoft solution. With email product, your email's running, and it's never really down. What could be closed is a door. So if you can't get in through your mobile phone, you can get in through your desktop. If you can't get in through your desktop, you can get in through your web client. So once again, you're coming in, that's the redundant component of it. The resilient component of it is a farm of servers. So it's not just one server, right? It's hundreds, millions, literally, of servers all connected together, which is a resiliency that most companies can't afford to build. Now, what it's not is backed up. Most people think, oh, it's in the cloud and now it's safe and it's there forever. No, that's not true. That's actually the responsibility of each client to go replicate that data, because that's really what backup is, right? You need a replication of your business so that if there's a disaster, you can come back online quickly. And so we provide that education, and then we also provide that service of getting them to the cloud and then making sure that they're backed up and secured in the cloud.
How are people backing up stuff nowadays? And how are people backing up, their work nowadays? Is it separate servers, everything's on the cloud but different servers? Are they doing like a hardware backup? I'm a little old school and a little small when it comes to this stuff. I have cloud access, but then I also back up to a portable hard drive that I keep in a safe. Just to have stuff.
In a safe?
Where's the safe?
Yes.
So where is the safe?
Under the bed,
Everybody faces that, and it's a great question. Everybody asks that. So, how do I back up the cloud? It's the cloud. Well, typically there's two ways. Another cloud, so a third-party provider, that's completely separate, or something that you mentioned, a localized backup, which obviously will save you in the event of an internet outage that you have a localized copy of that.
A few terabyte hard drive.
Unless there's a fire.
Could be
It's a
some
fireproof safe.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
So most customers will take a little of each, whatever their budget can afford.
Gotcha. I'm curious, and this is all of your businesses. We're a product business, so a little bit different, but what I see in the services side is a lot of companies that are trying to set it up themselves, right? They say, oh, I'll do the self-starter kit, I can get on AWS or Azure, all these sort of things pretty quickly. Same thing with design, right? People think, oh, I'll just try and design it myself.
For better or for worse.
But it's design, clients say, oh, I'll just try and design it myself, or marketing, I'll just run some ads myself, right? So how do you guys, what's the value proposition that you bring forward versus a small 5-person company that wants to do it themselves?
Great point. So here's the challenge with that. IT is a pyramid of services, right? You have designers and architects at the top, you've got connectivity people, then you've got desktop people. Trying to provide that pyramid of service through one person is pretty much impossible. You're either gonna overpay or have somebody who's underqualified. So the second big challenge to all that is keeping up with it. Yes, maybe you could figure out how to go install it, but the whole idea behind this technology is it's constantly updating it and improving. If you want it to stay in place, then you might as well buy a resident solution, right? Just buy a piece of software, stick it on your laptop, keep it there forever. The whole purpose of this product is to constantly evolve as it evolves. And so if your business is sales, then you should be selling. You shouldn't be investing your time in IT. And that's how we try to approach it. We actually have a little diagram that kind of lays out that pyramid that we were describing.
Joe, you so eloquently put all this together. Anthony, you market it. What are you doing now with all that information that Joe put out there?
Well, I'm actually making the little PDFs and the copies that he says
Don't say little, but are you doing so? I guess what I was joking at is the social media part, but not only the social media part, because sometimes IT can be boring.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also not, right, and you're not also necessarily trying to go towards a Kevin style where he's got a couple of employees. You're looking a little bit more. Yes, there's the potential growth, but you're also looking for a couple of companies who maybe have 50 employees, 150 employees, relocating, right? Just creating. So I'm calling into the carpet a little bit, I'm teasing
Yeah,
you.
your audience is all over the spectrum, how do you market yourself?
Yeah,
And we're marketing, you know, so we're more from an interest standpoint, how do you market to all these different types of companies?
Yeah, so kind of what Joe said, we don't really go after, we're horizontal. We do have specific verticals that we do market to. Since we are here in New Jersey, we like the tri-state area, so we look for that. And then my job is really to put it out there in simple man's terms for what we do. So I'm doing social media, things like that. I'm calling clients directly, sending out those drip marketing campaigns, really saturating our sites with content, because content is king in this industry, and people need to know what we do, but it can't be too high level where someone that's
Yeah.
going out to get information about this stuff kind of glazes over it because it's
So
like,
you're,
oh, I
you're
don't
a
understand.
resource, you guys are kind of positioning as thought leaders
Mhm.
and pushing out good content.
How
Yeah.
much does, it's an honest question, and hopefully, you know, give me an answer. How much does fear play into it? And when I say that, I'm not saying like, you're gonna tell them your whole,
Right.
but like, there is, no,
Your
there
whole
is that-
company could die.
But there is
Yeah.
that part of it, he's got his in the safe, I
Mhm.
mean, it's fireproof.
No,
So, like,
yeah,
There's some level to this.
That's a huge like marketing strategy with IT is using not fear tactics, but letting them know that hey, your data is your business. What you do every day on your computer, that's pretty much your life. If you lose that, you're in deep trouble. So you need to make sure that you have these preventive measures in place. So the backup, like Joe was talking about, the redundancy, the availability, all that stuff is kind of what we market. And I mean, I like breaking it down into really easy concept for people to understand. So
Okay.
if you lose your phone, you're pretty much out of luck, right? You need to have backup for that. You need to have ways to recover stuff like that. So
Well, the phone is like a sensitive topic, right? God forbid, like for many reasons you lose the phone, but like sometimes I guess it's like we had JG insurance, right? It's a topic that isn't at the top of people's thought process
Mhm.
when they're thinking about it. It's not fun. It's not appealing necessarily. It's
Right.
a necessity more than anything.
Well, that's
And
right.
it's like life insurance in case shit happens. right?
yeah,
Last time Temple played Rutgers?
we
Never.
basketball or
Yeah.
football.
No basketball. I'm thinking more basketball.
In basketball, we didn't. We were supposed to play them this year.
They didn't show up.
It didn't happen.
Oh, why didn't it?
But in football,
Yeah,
we lost to them too.
you
It
lost.
was a good game, yeah.
Okay.
But St.
Well,
John's,
we've been trying
I
to
said
get
Rutgers,
St.
right?
John's
I meant
Temple.
St.
We've been trying to get the
My
St.
apologies,
John's
I meant
Temple
St. John's.
yeah, but we've
Sorry.
also been trying for the St.
And it
John's
just
game.
doesn't happen.
No.
It doesn't
They
happen.
were in the same tournament this year, on opposite ends of the bracket. All they needed to do was
NIT?
both teams win. No,
That
the tournament,
preseason-
oh,
preseason
that preseason
tournament, preseason NIT. St. John's held up their half of the bar.
I see.
The other team didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was tough.
Did
But
you play ball because you're tall?
I didn't. I mean, in high school
Horrible
I did. At college,
Tall?
I played a
Well,
little
I can
bit.
assume that sure people don't. So I'm just going with that, yes, and it's not a bad assumption to have. So you said you did, right?
In high school I did, and actually at school I worked with the basketball team. I was a manager, so I practiced with them. They threw me in for a couple plays here and there. So I played. You know what? I'm going with I did play.
All
I
right.
didn't have a jersey number, but I was there.
This is like therapy too.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Joe, you're from Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, then Staten, Italy.
Understood.
Of course you would.
Yes. Well, oh, stereotyping.
Apparently from the same block.
Okay. Oh,
But you all live on the same block.
the great thing about Irish
Joey
people.
from the block. That's right, Joey from the block.
Joey from the block. Okay. So that's why you became a St. John, right?
That's
Well,
right.
Did you
Yeah.
live there?
Carnesecca, lived
At St. John's, or did you?
No,
Okay.
Staten Island campus.
Okay.
We didn't have residents there.
Okay. My friend's dad played for St. John's in the 70s, I think it was. Last name was Higher. Well, he was a prominent player, but.
Hopefully he wasn't either.
No. As far as the business here, you're doing something, right?
Yes, we are doing something that we're very, actually it's the brainchild of Anthony, so I'm gonna let him talk all about it because, he put it all together.
Okay.
Yes, and this is outside of making those marketing PDFs. This is also what I've been planning. We kind of came together in collaboration with Microsoft, with BellWorks, and we're opening up a pop-up shop for the month of June, the
Okay.
entire month of June, here on BellWorks, the block, so they call it.
Is that what they call it? Is
They
it-
call it the block
I
now.
heard
It
the
used to
street.
be,
was-
it used to be
was the
Main Street.
street. Now it's the block. It
By the way-
sounds like a prison.
Since you're working for Dad, Jesus Christ. Since you're working for Dad, you should stop saying that you're making PDFs because he's just thinking that he's paying you.
Yeah, you know what?
Very overpaid.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, editing PDFs sometimes is tough, especially with a bunch
Mike,
of
do you know how to edit
images.
PDFs? Alright, you're in.
Interns are cheaper, I heard. Okay, so back.
I have a second son too.
You've been replaced.
Yeah, is the first one?
Yes, he's the oldest.
You've been
The other one's is a junior.
Do you know his name? I mean, you're like.
Mike, of the junior Clemson University.
And where did he go?
Where did Clemson at?
Clemson.
The national
What a
champions in football.
bandwagoner. He told, when did he join Clemson?
Last year, right on
Last
time
year.
for the championship.
Yeah, the tuition went up like skyrocketing after.
You
Okay,
don't have
so
to remind me.
it's well this.
That's why I'm still working in the business, Lorenzo.
Yes, that's why you hired a family. Okay, so the street, okay,
The
now.
block.
The block.
The block.
And where is the pop-up? Is that where,
We're in, yep, it's
where Lauren?
where Lauren is, where
Okay.
Lauren was. We're in there from 10 to 5 p.m., so 10 in the morning to 5 p.m. at
For the
night.
month?
For the month, yeah, Monday through Friday. And we're gonna be doing some really, really cool events. 2 events that we have scheduled now that you'll actually see on the Bellworks calendar one is for June 13th with New York Red Bulls player Sean Davis. And
The Red Bull season ticket holder.
there you go, so you gotta stop by and say what's up to Sean.
Well, but I don't know if you want me to talk to Sean.
Uh-oh.
I got some ideas.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Let's give him the ball maybe, man. He needs to rock more. But
That's what he's doing with the ball when I bang him. No, he's a good player, good player.
3 to 5, he'll be at our pop-up shop on June 13th.
Okay.
So kind of traditional meet and greet. We're gonna have Xbox there set up to play some FIFA. So it's gonna
Okay.
be a real cool time.
I'm good at it. Be there for the entire 2 hours.
There it is,
I'm gonna
man.
kill everybody. If you
Yeah. Bring the set too.
These little 12-year-olds.
Maybe
that
we'll do a
play
live
online.
show out there, a
Wow.
live feed.
Whatever, I'm just playing FIFA.
We can set up a tournament, man.
That's fine. So you're doing that. What I would do is you should hack into everybody's company within Bellworks, and then come down.
Way to get some
Yeah,
trouble.
wait,
Is this recording?
Right.
So you said you're doing 2 pop-ups, right?
Yeah, that event is for
Okay.
the 13th, and the other event is for the 27th, and that's Paint and Sip, Paint with a Twist. We're actually collaborating with Howard Shore, the artist that's here, and it's going to be really cool because we're taking a twist on the whole paint and twist. We're adding technology to it, so they're going to be able to see one of his drawings and draw it on the Microsoft Surface devices that we have there. And
So
that's-
there'll be wine,
there's going to be free booze,
You hear
5
that,
to 7
Bellworks?
p.m.
free booze. They haven't listened to anything of this episode except they just
Right.
Whack this free booze somewhere.
free booze. Oh wait, the radio stuff. We could do a promotion. Come down now. Free booze. Right. Okay. 27th. Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
27th, 5 to 7 p.m., so it's
Yep.
after work hours. You have free attendance for both of those events, so just
Okay.
come by, stop by.
Lauren's gonna be on.
And that's going to be a good time. Really cool to work with Howard. He's a great guy. I don't know if you guys seen his art yet, but it's
Is he the
pretty
dude drawing
sweet.
on the thing in the?
He's
Triangle.
Yeah, we went-
he's
the
the
triangle.
trianglist.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we went to he had his opening maybe last
Yeah.
Friday, so we were at that.
The triangleist? I've seen that one.
That's
Yeah.
him. He's the
Is that what it
trianglist.
is?
He is the triangle.
Yes.
He loves triangles.
And what's for you guys? What's the goal? I mean, besides just putting on great events and networking, is it you're doing this with Microsoft? So you have Xbox and,
Mhm.
and Surface and things like that. But how are you guys weaving your services into that?
Yeah, are you there all
Well,
month? Like you're gonna be there?
So we're there for the month. Couple of things about our Surface practice, because we're really mostly a services company, but we do sell Surface. We're one of a handful of people that are authorized to resell Surface Hub 2, which is a really cool piece of technology. Just shipping now, so we're not quite sure if we're gonna have that here for the pop-up. But we're also gonna have some other really cool tech, like artificial intelligence stuff, some business intelligence, some Internet of Things stuff, and try to educate people on more than just the products.
Are you gonna be there all day at the pop-up each
10
day?
to 5 every day.
Every day. So Anthony, you'll be there. Or?
I'll be there 10 to 5. Yep.
So Holmdel.
Not me.
So the other office is just you and
The other office, I won't be there. I'll be 10 to 5 here, and
Okay.
the other guys will still be there holding down the fort, though. So you will have someone answering your calls. Don't worry. But the pop-up's going to be really cool because, kind of going off what you said, Mike, some of the solutions that we're going to be showing are like these buzzwords that you hear all the time in technology. So the Internet of Things, digital transformation. Like people hear that, but they don't really know what it means. We're going to actually have the solutions there live for you to see. So there's one really cool one facial recognition. So you step in front of the camera, it guesses your age, your gender, and your emotion. So happy,
Yeah, that should go over
sad,
well with the
confused.
female population.
Yeah, it actually
Yeah,
it
yeah,
rounds
yeah.
down. I think
Good
it
luck,
rounds
guys.
down.
Can I interest you in the surface?
So long as it's getting gender right, Lorenzo,
Right,
we're okay.
Well, I'm gonna be okay. He's got too pretty of a face. He might get pulled over.
We make no guarantees on the age part.
Oh, well,
Yeah, so
I
there's
can
a
tell you, this is
disclaimer.
like when you go to a carnival and you see the guy, I'll guess your weight. There are no women on that. And it's all like skinny guys. And it's it. Guess it, go ahead, buddy. That's why he's right every time. He's like $1.20. Yeah. So you asked Joe what this podcast was going to be about. Clearly, every never listened to the podcast, and B, you've now figured it out. We do this reminder. If you'd like to be on the podcast, at this moment, remind Kevin, what should they do if they'd like to be on the podcast?
You should get in touch with us. Go to the website. Go to what is it? info@belcast.com. Right.
Yes,
Got
Kevin.
that one.
It is.
Or you can slide into our DMs on any of our social networks.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to watch any recent YouTube videos of the podcast, what should they do other than sit there and wait for it?
Oh, they're all up.
Oh, why
My
do you
man
do this?
behind me.
Sorry, this is going to be a little inside baseball right now, but why do you do this? I ask you where it is, and then you do it, and then you don't tell me.
He likes that. He likes that. He
He's
likes to
like
be able
playing
to
with
stick
hard
it
to
to you.
get.
I will thank man over my right shoulder.
I'm not thanking you. I know who did it back there. I will.
Look at the setup right now. This is like, for people that aren't watching, this is like Step Brothers. You know?
He's sitting right behind me. Hi.
The Canadian pulls one out every episode. Yeah. So Will,
Both
thank
wearing
you.
tuxedos.
Will, if
Thank
you could
Will.
let me know from now on, sure. Because Kevin's too busy with his camera thing that he's walking around upstairs. Mike, have you tried the VR?
I haven't. No.
No.
It is.
Speaking of, for your paint, what are you calling it? Sipping.
It's a paint with a tech twist.
Okay, so on the Oculus, the Rift or the Quest, there's tilt brush too. So that might be something that you guys want to consider. Either bring a couple headsets in or link it up with the Oasis guys here, and yeah, you can do the whole painting thing. So
That was definitely one of our ideas, linking up with the Oasis guys. I actually have a buddy that works out at Microsoft, and he works on the Oculus team.
nice.
So I was trying to get him to fly in for that event, to bring some of that stuff, because I don't have that right now on site. But he may, so we're gonna be.
Okay.
Ooh, look at
Okay
that.
then.
Kevin's slid
Look
into
at
this.
this. Yeah, right. He threw that in.
I will
right
rent you
in
the
his
headset for a mirror.
For a mere $1,000 an hour.
Mike,
Kevin will be appearing in the booth this month.
Yeah, no, we've got a few of the Go's and we've got the Quest
Okay. Cool.
upstairs, the new Quest. So it's
Awesome.
like
Yeah,
a
we
great
can-
wireless and bring it down.
Well, you know what we are trying to do is collaborate with our neighbors. We teamed
Have
up
a
with.
sales meeting for Refresh Advertising.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. You know, we talked to Pete Dant. I don't know if you guys know Pete.
Yep.
We have a reel of all his cool pictures. We're going to be running those on our digital signage solution.
Oh, nice.
We also talked to Howard about giving us one of his digital imprints. If you guys have anything and you want to put it on our digital signage solution, we'll run it through there for the month.
Can we do a Bellcast
It's all
or something? Can you do
Anything.
Can you just throw in the Bellcast random stuff, right?
Of course.
Or
Of
apparently
course.
Refresh Advertising.
Refresh VR.
There you go.
How's it been networking with everyone here? I mean, because you just named about 3 or 4 connections.
Yeah, I mean,
You guys have-
we love it. I mean, it's the #1 reason we're here, right? To network and help everybody grow. Let's
Yeah.
all grow together.
And because you're a Holmdel resident, you probably saw this place, through the whole transition of being full, being empty, and back to full again.
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic because in my first IT business, my partner worked for AT&T, and so he left during the whole divestiture when everything, and then the beginning of the end of this building. So we were here. We arrived in 1999, which is they were long gone. Lucent had taken over the building. They were here for maybe 5 years, and then the place was dormant for 10 years. So we were real excited when Ralph took over the space and came up with the idea. As soon as we heard about it, it was like, hey, when it's ready, hopefully, we're on pace and we'll move on in. And that's really what we've been trying to do for the last. It's probably been 12 months now since we've been investigating what was here. Took the collab space about 6 months ago, and future looks good.
Nice.
So you guys, the personal side of it, lunch, food, stuff like that, when you're coming here, what's your experience been like? Just overall with the events and different, because I saw you watching the March Madness,
Oh yeah.
enthusiastically, may I say.
Yes, very enthusiastic. I think that was the night of.
And who were you pulling for?
I think that was
Was it
the
that
night of Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras, right?
Maybe.
I- You were like where Kevin is right now.
I think there was whiskey in my glass that night for sure.
Yeah, Kevin's coming down from it now. We have to slow down a little bit. Yeah, okay, well, we'll get back to you in a minute, buddy. Don't you worry.
We've loved it. The events, Power's done a fantastic job putting on events, and we attend them. We met Kevin at one of the the collab mixers.
Yeah.
So we've been in there, and Lorenzo, I don't know how we bumped into each other, but maybe
We
it was
literally probably just bumped
Bumped
into
in the office.
Well, you know,
we
by
both
us,
like to do laps around
Yeah.
the atrium.
there's not a lot of space down by us.
Yeah.
Looking for ventilation.
Claustrophobic?
How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing great.
All right, well.
Still good.
Countdown.
Still good.
He's on countdown.
Countdown.
You kidding?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
looking at his watch.
So are you staying here all day, Kev, or are you heading
I'm
out?
staying all day. Yeah, there's a
Commitment.
couple people are going up and.
Your clients aren't necessarily listening, by the way.
They won't hear till after I get back on Monday. Yeah, when this.
We're gonna tag you in every episode of this episode. Okay, well, it's more so we were gonna, just remember that little notepad thing that you're writing down stuff in. If you could please take that with you this weekend.
And write notes?
Yeah, and the camera.
Actually,
Cameras
Will, you can maybe
Usually no
tag
camera, no
along.
cameras.
That might be good. So Will can tag along this weekend. He'll take notes.
All right,
That's good.
no cameras, only notes, only handwritten notes, please.
I have a
Still
funny
awesome.
story about that. Yeah, no, okay, I'll save it for another time. We'll get back to you next weekend, next episode,
We'll recap.
for the weekend, maybe we should bring the fiance on too.
Yeah, you got it, you met her.
I met her, I did meet her this week, it was very nice.
You met her after last week's podcast.
Yes, and you have a Bellcast shirt on.
I do.
We have new shirts coming in, you guys will both.
All our
get a
guests
yes.
will get a bell cap,
But you don't
alum
get,
shirt.
you get the cheaper white one, sorry guys.
Alright, that's
You don't get the high end one stuff. Go ahead, Mike, what do you got? Well, you wouldn't hurt, we wore it already.
No, that was good. I was curious about you guys actually from a business standpoint, family business, right?
Mhm.
Being in the family business. So I grew up, I remember my father's in the financial services world, and I was like, I am never going into that business. I just saw how, his work, and I wanted to go somewhere separate. Was that the case for you? Did you always want to go join the family business? And obviously you went from communications to now on the tech side. So what was that
Here
transition?
comes the therapy part.
Right, yeah.
I'm trying to get out right
We
now.
have-
Wheel the couch in.
Do we have a couch?
Yeah,
Maybe.
bring it in.
No,
I think I should answer this question.
Okay, you should, and then you can leave for 5
Yeah,
minutes.
exactly. We'll get the real
Yeah,
answer.
get the real answer.
Say that.
I just want to say,
Lead in.
then I'm
Lead in.
gonna let Anthony talk, but throughout their lives, both my sons growing up, I never made them take even one computer class. I never wanted to force my passion and my business down their throats. If they decided to come, they would come.
Alright, great
Now-
answer, Joe, thanks a lot, that was the truth.
yeah, so, no, that is.
I was
it's-
opening up,
Right.
Gateways 2004.
Exactly, he made me build computers in my
Yeah.
room. No, it's he's right though. He never kind of forced industry or like, hey, you're gonna do computers, you're gonna do what I'm gonna do when I was growing up. So, like I said before, I went to college. Communications interested me. Just in high school, I was involved in like television production. I always liked photography. Tried that out. I still work in communications. I actually work for the union in New York, 1212. So throw a little shout out to 1212, but I still have that, so it's that like passion that I'm still connected to. But working with Joe has been great.
It's even weird for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny when we're on conference calls too, because I'm like, hey Joe, what do you think about that? And he's like, I don't know, Anthony, and it's just no one knows.
But do you turn that off for the family dinners, or is it?
Yeah, I mean it's almost
Yeah.
Hey,
Joe,
Joe.
that's the gravy.
It is.
Watch it, son.
Right.
By the way, him calling you Anthony is actually normal.
Yeah.
You calling him Joe is weird for me, because this is generational thing, like my friend's parents. When I met my wife, sorry, we're gonna go like sideways here, but it's a point. She's like, this is Sam and Mary Ann, and I'm like, what? I have never called my mother-in-law by her first name ever. My friend's parents, I call them Mr. and Mrs.
Right.
But my kids' parents, like, they're all like, hey, hi, Michelle. I'm like, no, that's Brielle's mom. That's not Michelle. I don't know anything about it. So, yes, I guess you guys are used to it. How long have you worked?
It's been 2 years now.
Okay. Does it feel like 2 years?
It's 5 years.
Loading question.
Wow.
But
Okay.
it's-
And
You didn't think you were gonna have good content. Come on, couldn't get any better.
I'm on this podcast. I knew there was going to be good content. We're good. It was just, yes, good. We're making IT appealing, right?
We
try. Again.
Yes. Mike just sits back now and he just watches the show like it's a snow globe. Like,
Going
just
off
like,
the rails.
Yeah, going off the rails. Well, Kevin, you came in hot.
I
You
did.
died out.
I came in.
You're like that passed out in the bed virtual on Friday night.
You know, I came in all amped up, and they took it.
You did
Everyone's
the Irish goodbye. You just
I just
stopped talking.
I just went off the camera.
Will, how you doing back there, buddy?
I'm good.
All right, good. He'll be like Guillermo on
Yeah.
on cable, right? Every once in a while, we'll just call him in. Okay, so you got the pop-up store going for a month. Lauren was supposed to be in there for a month, and then she got like she did 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, just did a while.
Yeah,
Good
so,
gig for her.
all right.
Lauren's great. I mean, we even talked to her about, you know, sharing some space for us, coming back and doing something. She was doing something design oriented
Yeah.
with the kids on
Oh,
the
that'd be
weekend.
cool. Yeah.
And we said, hey, why don't we try to figure out a way to do that on the surface?
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
I did say on the episode was it that we were going to buy one of the purses.
Did you?
You did.
I did.
You did.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I
You
did.
did. I picked it up.
Yeah, boy.
I picked it up for him. I get credit.
Oh, you did. That's right.
Yeah, I hand delivered it to your desk for you.
Yes, for Mother's Day. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot that you knew I was going to throw you under the bus
So now,
too.
are you gonna buy a tablet?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
question.
I was
That's
gonna
the
say,
question.
are
Are
you
you
gonna buy a
buying
Surface?
Yes.
Think you're always
They think they're smart. No, now it's not my turn. It's their turn.
You know what? I will look into it.
Okay, and I'll deliver it to your desk for
We're
you.
gonna have some Bellwork specials too, for sure.
Nice.
Oh, so on top of the Bellwork special, there's a Bellcast special. So that's even better.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be, so I know you said you're gonna be there all day during the day.
What are you gonna be doing? Yeah. Well, my question. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna be
Wait,
there? Are you
let's
having
say that out
What do you do, Kevin? Futz around all day.
No, are you gonna be
They're
there as
working,
a
dude.
help desk? Are you are
Just
will
gonna be
people
there
come down
demo, all kinds of cool tech demos.
throughout the day? Can people come down and
Yeah.
chat with you guys?
I think it's a fair question. I know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I poked, but like in truth, like we go back to the fact that IT is not on the top of your radar and stuff like that. And I know you're doing the
It's
two
not
events.
sexy.
Yeah,
It's not sexy.
yeah. All right, well,
Come on down. Does
Yeah.
everyone stop down?
so this episode is coming out Monday, right? Today's
That's
Friday.
that's the launch day.
Okay,
Today's our
perfect.
launch day.
Just play this whole thing. Put a speaker on. Just play this
Just
whole
play
day.
it the entire time.
Just play it all day. Why not? Are you looking? And I know that everybody's looking to grow, but sometimes you might be at a happy spot right now. Are you guys looking to grow the help desk? Are you looking to grow other things? I mean, yes, you want new income and new clients, but you know, you might say we want to get 500 more clients or 40 more people. Are you looking for any help on the help desk? Do you need any employees, or are you guys kind of good right now where you are?
Well, actually, Mike and I were having that conversation before the show. We want to grow regionally now. You know, we have the mechanism in place. It's there. It's all bolted together. Now it's about taking that message into new markets.
So Sean is holding you back.
Sean is holding us back big time.
No,
Kevin?
just throw people under the bus. Like
I'm not throwing him under the bus. I'm trying to inspire Sean to say, Sean,
Let's roll.
let's go here.
No, let's expand.
The pretzels, we're done.
Well,
with.
and Mike, and the things that Mike's doing, that's the type of stuff that can really help us, because scaling out a sales organization requires process and consistent process.
All right.
It's a great idea. You don't see people doing pop-ups and events and things in IT. IT's usually for better or for worse boring. So it's cool to see you guys going outside the box a little bit.
I think getting the process down, like you just said, is so important, because what happens in a lot of services businesses, in my opinion, that I've seen, is it's tough to scale, right? Because it's still a service business, so you can only do so much. It sounds like you guys have put a bit of a twist on that, because it's a subscription service that you have, right? You now get that it's not SaaS, but to a certain degree, right? You have a product that is scalable, and now you just need the sales team to ramp that up. I mean, that's the dream for businesses.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so I think
And to
that's
do it with a
good spot.
recurring revenue base, obviously, is appealing all around.
So you are a partner of Microsoft? Is that how that works? Or how does that
Yeah,
relationship?
so that's a great question, because we get that one all the time. So how do I ever get a hold of Microsoft? So Microsoft interfaces with the world in 3 ways. They have a direct sales force that will only work with enterprise scale customers, large consumption customers. They have
Which means for them, how large generally?
2,500.
Lots of zeros.
It used to be
Yeah.
2,500 employees, now they measure it in software consumption.
Okay.
So lots of consumption. And then the store, the retail store, primarily there to compete with Apple and demonstrate the products. Surface, Xbox, the same stuff we're gonna have in the
They've
booth.
stepped up that game too.
Yep. And then everything else, that gigantic space in the middle, is all through partners. So, and the partners are broken down, there's 25,000 partners worldwide. only 10% of those are managed, which is what we are. We're one of the managed partners. And then inside there's specialization. So ours is the cloud, basically everything cloud and everything focused on SMB, small and mid-market businesses.
And do you have to get certified for that, or how does that work?
Yes, you do. There's all types of certifications in the office disciplines, Azure, which is the server-based products, the Dynamics, which is the accounting and the ERP line. They all have their own certifications. Competencies is really what they refer to them now as.
Okay, so you get all these competencies, now you can go in and implement them in your companies.
That's right, and the other part of it is we're what's called a cloud service provider. So we resell the Microsoft software. So you can only buy the software two ways, direct from Microsoft or through a certified partner like ourselves. So that allows our customers to really do a one-stop shop. They can purchase the software and the service all bundled together, pay one price, one client.
And now the hardware as well with the Surface that you said, is that how it works?
And,
Okay.
and the Surface as well.
What do the services run for normally, regular price?
Surface Go starts out at $400, I think you can entry for Surface Go. All the way up to the Studio is a high-end 25-inch tablet that's probably $3,000 to $4,000.
Okay. Like late at night on a Friday, you don't open up like your MacBook Pro secretly behind the scenes.
But in all seriousness though, Microsoft works well with Apple.
Yeah.
I mean, it works all over Apple. I recently purchased, we're on TV, right?
TV's a strong word.
We're on.
What's TV anymore?
I finally left my Windows phone. I was one of the last people on the planet with a Windows phone and went to.
You get blown up, people message.
Yeah, well,
Is
he's
he-
a busy guy.
Okay.
Busy guy.
Hopefully not, because if you're working call center, hopefully you're not busy. All right, what's the website?
Yeah, plug it.
Yeah, the website's www.the-data-pros.net,
Okay,
and we're at Twitter at @TheDataPros.
Okay.
We're on Instagram it's DataPros. That's data_pros. I actually just changed that to make it a little bit
these marketing
confusing.
guys always change.
Yeah, and Facebook is the Data Pros. It's @TheDataPros.
Joe, did you know any of this, or did you just find this information out right now?
We're on Twitter.
He's
We're on
like,
Twitter.
Twitter.
There's an Instagram for this.
Twitter, I love it.
I feel like Produce Pete right now.
Okay.
Produce Pete. I'm on the Twitter. I didn't even know that.
Thank you both, gentlemen.
Thank you guys.
Mike, any closers?
No, thank you guys for coming on.
You did great.
Kevin?
Still I am. You still excited? I want to give a couple shout outs. Yeah.
We have,
Who is this?
we have brought his inner Liza Minnelli out on this podcast, or Barry Manilow, or whoever old school like liberal. Go ahead, yeah, please shout out.
I want to shout out to the lovely design lab here that we're
Okay.
doing, right? MPZ. Want to say hello and goodbye to Lauren Farrell, our former guest here on the show.
Okay. Are you resigning from the podcast?
This will be my last one.
That's this weekend, my man.
Yeah, and thanks to you guys, Data Pros.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, episode 19. It's in the can. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thank